I read every evening, without fail, before I go to bed, or rather sometimes in bed, to empty my mind of the busyness of the day. So without fail, every day I read. I always ask for autobiographies for Christmas, just because it's nice, and often celebrities and famous people bring them out at that time. I like crime, I like thrillers, nothing too dark. I like historical fiction. I particularly love the Tudors and the War of the Roses and things like that. So I'm here to talk about my favourite childhood book, Little Women. This is actually my daughter's copy, so I introduced her to this when she was about age 9 or 10, and we read it together. I'm a bit cross, I've lost my original copy from when I was a child. It's about 4 sisters, all different, strong women in their own ways, normal family life. Their dad's gone away to war and it's just them and their mum. They're not a very well off family, so they make do and mend. And Jo, who is my favourite character in there, she's intrigued by the boy who lives in the house next door, who's from a very posh house with his grandfather, and she's dying to meet him, and she feels sorry for him because she reaches out to him. So it starts off, there's snow outside, you imagine a really cold day, and she throws a snowball at his window to try and get his attention. And he's been poorly, he's been sick at home with a cold, and he's hanging out the window chatting to her, and that turns into her being invited into the house, and she feels very much out of her depth, kind of socially, but it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship between Jo and Laurie. And it's just normal life, even though it's set a very long time ago. It's still things that I recognise now. So I've got a brother and a sister, and you know, I look back and I think that's family life, and arguments and petty squabbles. But the gist of it all is that they all really love each other. So I think that comes through massively, and I've returned to this book over and over again over the years. I think it's really important that young people read, apart from the obvious things that your teachers will tell you, which is it'll help with your spelling and your punctuation and your grammar, but it's also about things that you can access the world and what's going on. Chilling out with a book or a magazine and just escaping into a different world, I think that is so important for your well-being, and it helps me stay sane in my job as well.